everyone. I would like to call this meeting to order. First of all, Happy New Year. Happy Chinese New Year, everybody. Thank you for joining us during our weekly virtual MLS breakfast meetings. My name is Sharon Wang. I am with Pinnacle Real Estate Group from Temple City. A little about me. My name is Sharon. I've been a full-time realtor for 4 years. And I'm the February MLS program chair. Next. All right, about this Zoom meeting. Just a reminder that all participants will be muted upon entry to the MLS breakfast meeting. And if you have a question or a comment, please enter it into the chat box and I will read it during our Q&A session, and our guest speaker will answer a portion of the questions. Please remember to join us weekly, as we will have our virtual MLS breakfast meetings every week on Thursdays at 9 a.m. Please remember to register in advance for this meeting. And after registering, you will receive a confirmation email containing information about joining this meeting. Please remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We also have our YouTube channel. You can find it by the name WSGVR TV. Now, WSGVR introduced to a text message service. For updates, please text WSGVR to the number 72727. About a quick tip about CRMS Rules and Regulations, Section 8.2. Participants and subscribers filling listings with the MLS shall have a written listing agreement with all necessary signatures in their possession. The AOR or MLS shall have the right to demand a copy of written documentation to verify the adequacy and the information reported to the MLS at any time. For more information, you can visit the website www.go.crmls.org/compliance. All right, today's agenda. Today's agenda consists of our affiliate spotlight by NG10, First American Title, followed by our guest speaker, Kelly Cutchin, the country manager with MoneyCorp. Just a reminder, to be eligible for today's raffle, you must be a WSGVR member, and your name must be displayed to win. We will not accepting any telephone numbers. Okay, today our affiliate spotlight will be brought to you by the affiliate committee, Chair Sage Gomez, my NHD, Vice Chair Brandon Savransky, First American NHD. Now let's have our affiliate spotlight, affiliate NG10 with First American Title. Angie, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Hi guys, I'm Angie Tang, First American Title. Been in the industry for almost 20 years, if not a little bit more now. I stopped counting after 10. So during this whole time with in title, prior to that, I was in escrow. I helped with escrow in high school. And before that, in high school, I did actually work for a real estate company. And then in college, I helped and worked at a escrow company. And now I've progressed into title, and it's been like a lifelong journey in real estate for me. One of the main things now that I've been able to be blessed with is to have a family. So now I have a little one, and she's going to be now also involved in a lot of the escrow and title and real estate industry. So you'll probably see her in title maybe in like 20 years or so. Her name is Alea. For some reason, I couldn't share my screen today. I'm not sure what's happening on my end. It might be on my end. So we'll just have to go with the flow, and you get to meet Alea. She's having her cracker now. She's 10 months, and she's starting to crawl and walk. And you might have all met me before COVID. You saw my little baby bump, so you'll see her progress and grow as well. So it's really nice to see everybody, wishing everybody a wonderful Chinese New Year, wishing everybody prosperity and a lot of health. Thank you so much. I'm Angie Tang, First American Title. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. We will now have our top affiliate introductions for today. Please remember to support our affiliates with your transactions. Brandon Savransky, First American NHD.
Oh. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Lunar New Year to everyone. And I hope everyone has a good Valentine's Day as well and a good President's Day. I know it's a long, busy weekend. And this is Brandon Savransky with First American NHD.
Thank you, Brandon. Next is Sandy Franco, First American Home Warranty.
Good morning, everyone. Sandy Franco, First American Home Warranty. Happy Lunar New Year and happy Valentine's Day. And even though Monday is a holiday, we will be open for all of your home warranty needs. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Sandy. Next is Chase Kurt, Morrison Property Inspections.
I don't think he's here this morning.
All right, we'll skip that. And next one is Hong Chiang from Hong Chiang Insurance.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Happy Chinese New Year and happy Valentine. If you want to open an IRA account or need any question about insurance, call me 626-629-9983. Thank you.
Thank you, Hong. Next is Junita Wu from Home Warranty of America.
Good morning, everyone. Unita Wu from Home Warranty of America, your 13 months home warranty. Please let me know if you need any help on the home warranty, but want to wish you a happy Chinese New Year, Gong Xi Fa Choi, and want to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Unita. Next, Sage Gomez, my NHD.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone has a great Lunar New Year and an even better Valentine's Day. Have a great one, everyone.
Thank you, Sage. Next, Cosmo Sanchez, New Aim Funding. Cosmo?
He's trying to unmute.
Sorry, I was on mute. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys have a great weekend, romantic weekend, and also a weekend of just celebrating friendship as well. Happy Valentine's Day, and I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, Cosmo. Next is Joe Haggerty, Orange Coast Title.
Good morning, everyone. Wishing you all happy New Year, happy Chinese New Year, and definitely, make it a great day on Valentine's Day, even if it's just for yourself. Treat yourself. Joe Haggerty from Orange Coast Title, for all your title needs. Give me a call. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Next is John Wax, Snap NHD.
Good morning, everyone. John Wax with Snap NHD Natural Hazard Disclosures. I just want to let you know my information's in the chat. I'm here for you. We will be open Monday. I want to wish you a very happy Lunar New Year, a happy Valentine's Day, and yes, President's Day. And we will be open. Gong Hei Fat Soy.
Thank you. Next is Nancy Chen, Lawyer's Title.
Unmute myself. Nancy Chen, Lawyer's Title. 恭喜发财，身体健康，一切平安快乐. I'm here for all your title needs. Thank you so much. Love you guys.
Thank you, Nancy. Our last one, Annie Fan, Chicago Title.
I don't think she's with us this morning.
Okay. We'll go next. We're happy to include open pitching to our virtual MLS breakfast meetings. We don't have any pitching for this week. Hopefully we can have a few or more for next week. Now, that's at this time, I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Kelly Cutchin, the country manager with MoneyCorp.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. What a lovely way to start. There's so much love on this call, and it's a great reminder for me personally, just of how much we have to be grateful and thankful for. So thank you so much for having me today. I will go ahead and share my screen now, Sharon, if that's what we're ready for.
Yes, the floor is all yours, Kelly.
Fantastic. All right. Well, just a quick introduction to myself. My name is Kelly Cutchin, and I am the country manager of MoneyCorp here in the United States. I've been with MoneyCorp, I haven't stopped counting, since 2006. I've loved my journey with MoneyCorp, and it is my passion to assist clients with their currency exchange and international transfer needs. Throughout my tenure here at MoneyCorp, I have partnered with numerous realtors throughout the United States and even internationally to assist their customers with buying and selling real estate. And really, it's just my passion to educate and be a resource. So at the end of this presentation, if you get nothing else, I want to be able to be a tool in your toolkit, so that when you have an international client that you're assisting, you have a representative to reach out to assist you as much as I possibly can. So I will go ahead and get started here. All right, so who is MoneyCorp? We started trading in foreign currency exchange in 1979. Last year, we traded $48 billion in foreign currencies in 120 different currency pairs. I may touch on that a bit later, just to mention that there are actually more currencies than 120, if you can believe it. Most people can't name more than maybe 3 to 5 currencies, but there are many, many currencies that are used throughout our beautiful planet. And we can trade up to 120 of those. We do have teammates and offices around the world. And of course, importantly, being in the currency exchange and international transfer industry, we are extremely regulated. So you'll be happy to know that your clients' safety and security comes as a top priority to us, and we are regulated by FinCEN, the FCA, and other global regulators in each of our jurisdictions. And this was just a recent award that MoneyCorp was granted. We were recognized as a top global business partner by Florida Realtors. We work with everything from NAR down, of course, to the state associations and to the local city and county associations. And we partner heavily with the global councils or international councils, dependent on which organization you're working with. But I just wanted to throw that out there, that we're not only working directly with the realtors, but we are recognized as a global business partner from NAR and from the state level down. So as I mentioned, we're actually a UK-based company. We put an office out here in Florida back in 2006 when I had initially joined the company. But we do have some strategic offices spread out throughout the US and internationally, including offices in Europe, the USA, Brazil, Australia, Dubai, and in Hong Kong. I am speaking to you today from my home office in Orlando, Florida, but we, of course, do presentations for anyone. We speak to clients anywhere, and we do have representatives out in California. I want to make sure that you take away the fact that it is easy to work with MoneyCorp. There's no cost or obligation for your clients to set up an account with MoneyCorp. They can set up an account in less than 5 minutes through a simple registration link that we can email them. Of course, they do have the option to just go to our website and set up an account there. But my hope at the end of today is to build a relationship with each of you in such a way that you want to introduce your clients so that we can offer them a white glove service. We can provide you with feedback on their transactions. You can, of course, come to us anytime you have questions. And we will also cover the fact that MoneyCorp pays you referral fees if your customers utilize our services. So it's important that we know that a customer came to ourselves through you as an introduction, but it's very simple to register your clients and subsequently for them to set up an account. We've got landing pages if you've got a website and want your website to look and feel and appeal more to an international clientele. I tell agents all the time, in this world, we need to make sure that we have a competitive edge. We want to separate ourselves from our competition, of course. So if your website has information about currency exchange and buying properties internationally, it could certainly help you win business from perhaps a website that's sort of dull and just talking about local property purchases. We have market updates, we send out daily exchange rates, and if you want additional information and you just are one of these that wants to be extremely educated on currency exchange in the international markets, we've got that for you as well. You can sign up for our daily markets, our market update, our weekly updates, and again, just gain more currency exchange knowledge through our website. This is a sample of a landing page, again, that I had mentioned that you can put on your website. Just send me an email. I'd be happy to share that information with you. Any clients that register for MoneyCorp services through your website, we do track that. So we'll know that that customer came through to your website. We will be in contact with you to communicate an update on that customer. And of course, you can expect those referral fees if the client goes on to use our services. I do want to take a moment to just mention that, of course, we are going to talk today a lot in the context of real estate and buying and selling properties internationally. But our services are not only geared towards real estate. We can certainly help customers with buying luxury goods, many clients buying art or boats these days. We can do international weddings. We can help clients send money to friends and family. The list goes on and on. Many customers use our services to send their children to study abroad. So I did just want to make sure that everyone was aware that our services weren't only specific to real estate. We can do a bit of everything. Now, what I've touched on so far is really to do with our personal client services, right? You need to send money internationally, or your client has a need to purchase, is purchasing a property here in the States and they personally need to do a transaction. But at the end of the day, that's only a portion of the business that MoneyCorp operates. We actually have a corporate desk as well, where we help with many companies throughout the globe, helping them hedge their foreign exchange exposure, right? So these could be companies that are importing and exporting goods. These could be companies that sell their products internationally. These could be companies that have staff based all around the world who, again, need help getting that payroll sorted, et cetera. All of our clients, private and corporate, have the ability to experience the same white glove service, no matter the transaction size. So clients have the ability to have a dedicated account manager, a dedicated currency exchange dealer, you name it. We're all in this to help the customer, corporate or private, have a smooth international transfer experience. All right, so now we'll jump into the fun stuff. So oftentimes I'm speaking with realtors about the importance of working with a foreign currency exchange company when they're dealing with an international client, and they look at me a bit puzzled and say, well, can't they just transfer their money through their banks? Well, in most instances, yes, they can, but we would of course highly advise against it. Going through the banks, the customers are going to get hit with large transfer fees, but more importantly, they're going to get unfavorable rates of exchange. The transfer fee is the transparent part, right? A bank may tell you it's going to cost you $50 to do an international transfer. But in reality, on a $300,000 transfer, the bank might be making $5,000 plus because of the exchange rate market margin that they're offering the client. And we'll go into an example in a minute, but that's the hidden fee. That's the big chunk of change that the bank is going to make off of the transaction, not the $50 or nominal international transfer fee, which is still just annoying to pay at the end of the day. With MoneyCorp, we do have local client accounts, right? So your clients don't have to worry about making international payments. They would be able to do a domestic transfer into their MoneyCorp account, and then we would facilitate the international transfer, and we don't charge our clients transfer fees. We have highly competitive rates of exchange. Of course, I mentioned that white glove service, but that personal currency exchange specialist. And we have the ability not only to get your clients a great rate of exchange, but we have the ability to lock into an exchange rate for up to 2 years. All right, so we're going to show a lot of examples today because I feel like it really helps paint the picture. This example is Tanya. She is from France and she is buying a property in the United States for $450,000. And at this moment in time, the interbank rate of exchange is 1.21. Right? So that's the exchange rate that if you were going to Google the exchange rate or you were going to look on Bloomberg, that's kind of the rate of exchange that you would see. But that's not actually the rate of exchange that you or I or any of your customers actually have access to. That is the exchange rate that big banks are trading billions of dollars of currency at constantly. So what happens is the bank buys the currency at that rate, but then they sell it to your customers at a different rate of exchange. So in this instance, €1 is going to get your client 1.17 US dollars. Again, the real exchange rate's 1.21. That's where the bank is making their money. So in this example, this $450,000 property is going to cost Tanya 384,000 euros. The good news is they're working with you as their realtor and you say, wait, Tanya, don't use the bank, contact MoneyCorp. MoneyCorp will offer the client an exchange rate of 1.20 at that moment in time, meaning that that same property is going to cost her 375,000 euros. So a savings of 9,600 euros. That's the profit right there that the bank would have made if the customer used them to convert their currency. So we're not talking about small amounts of money that we're saving clients to facilitate their currency exchange and international transfer needs. The next thing I'd like to cover off is the fact that basically everything impacts the exchange rate. Oftentimes people ask me, well, what impacts the currency exchange fluctuation? And I think the better question is, what doesn't impact a currency exchange fluctuation? Things like current affairs, natural disasters, things that are completely unpredictable, COVID, all had an impact on the exchange rate, and data that's released every day impacts one's value, one's currency value. So in 2020, these are some of the highlighted things that we saw really take a toll on exchange rates or the value of one's currency. We had COVID-19, we had Brexit, right? And everyone heard of Brexit last year and years leading up to last year. This is where the UK voted to leave the European Union. That had a huge impact on the value of the British pound as well as the euro. We had the US presidential election, global economies that had been affected, but ultimately that caused the US dollar to gain strength. So what did we see when the value of the dollar went up? We saw Americans looking to buy and invest internationally, which was exciting because for 15 years of my career at MoneyCorp, I had helped Brits buy real estate in Florida. And the fact that I had to turn the tables and help California residents purchase properties in Portugal, it was really exciting. And we're continuing to see that trend as we roll into 2021. But what we also saw, because the dollar strengthened, was a number of foreign nationals that had previously purchased real estate in the United States over the course of the last 10, 20 years, sell those properties and repatriate their funds back home. Why? Because they got a great return, because the dollar had strengthened against the currency that they had originally purchased that property with. Going into 2021, some of the things that we're already watching are that global economies are stabilizing, right? Now that the UK has left the European Union, we're starting to see some stability occur there. We're starting to see the US dollar weaken a bit. So with that, it makes opportunity, right? There's always an opportunity, but in this instance, it may bring back the opportunity for foreign investors to have more money to spend on properties here in the United States. I wanted to just quickly highlight, I guess, with an image that exchange rates are fluctuating constantly. This image here shows the euro US dollar. Just as an FYI, if anyone's interested, as of today, the euro is worth 1.21 to the US dollar. This is the British pound to the US dollar. So again, we've seen loads of volatility Today, the exchange rate from the British pound to the US dollar is 1.38. Some of us might remember when that rate of exchange was 2 to 1. But yes, it's 138 today, which is actually the highest level it's been year to date so far. Canada, this morning, the Canadian dollar is worth 0.78 US dollars. So 1 Canadian dollar will get you 78 cents in the US. So again, just wanted to highlight that exchange rates are constantly fluctuating. So timing is crucial. Whether your client trades on a Friday or a Monday, or they trade in this month versus that month, they are going to end up with a different amount of foreign currency that they're looking to purchase because the exchange rate's constantly moving. So I wanted to, again, you know, I like examples. I wanted to again highlight an example here. This is Tim. Hi, Tim. Tim is from the UK and he is selling his US property that he's owned for many years. He has closed on that property and the title company now currently holds his funds, and they have asked Tim, what would you like for us to do with your money? So if Tim tells the title company, put my money into my American bank account, I'll worry about it next week, there's the potential, and a very good potential, that his money will get stuck in the United States due to the United States Patriot Act, which basically states that you need to be physically present in order to facilitate an international transfer. So now you've got Tim overseas who's just sold his property in America that's told you've got to come here to get your money, which is a headache to begin with, but not to mention things like COVID and the travel restrictions will make it virtually impossible for Tim to access his money. So we don't want for foreign sellers to instruct title companies to put funds into a foreign national's US bank account for all of those risks I've just mentioned. What we also don't really want to happen is for the title company to send the money directly back to Tim in the UK. Why? Because then the bank is going to take the responsibility of converting the currency from US dollars to British pounds. And we already highlighted why we don't think that is a great idea. Okay. So in this instance, Tim from the UK, who is selling his $300,000 property, because he's used the bank, he will end up with £209,000, right? Tim might be happy. However, we can make him happier. Because at the end of the day, if the title company transferred the US dollar funds directly to MoneyCorp, then the client has all the options in the world. We can leave the dollars sat there and monitor the exchange rate for him in hopes that the rate improves and then convert his currency. We can immediately convert it and he doesn't have to leave the comfort of his own home. But in this instance, because we're able to take the control of the exchange rate, we can get the client an exchange rate of 1.38, which means he would get in return £217,000 compared to £209,000 going through the bank. A savings of £7,600. If the property is owned in the name of an LLC or a trust, does not matter to us. We would set up the account accordingly and we can still assist just as if they were a personal client. All right, so moving on, this example is the flip side. We've got Emily who lives in California and she is buying a property in Portugal. We saw a huge amount, as I mentioned, of Americans looking to purchase internationally last year. And again, it's continuing this year. And a lot of Americans, especially in California, it seems, have an interest in buying in Portugal because of the golden visa, which allows them to live and work there as long as they're making an investment of €500,000 or more. So in this instance, I want to highlight the fluctuation and the importance of when a transfer occurs. So in January of 2021, the exchange rate between the euro and the dollar was 1.21, right? So this property would have cost Emily $605,000 in order to get €500,000. However, in May, just several months previous, she could have gotten an exchange rate of 1.08. So that same property would have only costed her $540,000. The great news is, as I mentioned early on in the call, we have the ability to lock into an exchange rate for up to 2 years. So we want to start working with a client early on in their international buying experience, so that if we do see the rate hit a phenomenal level for them, even though their closing might not be for 3, 6, 12 months, 2 years time, we can go ahead and secure that rate of exchange and eliminate the rate, the risk of the rate fluctuating in a negative capacity. At the end of the day, we all know that if we were working with a buyer from overseas and the exchange rate moved in such a way that now overnight they've got to come out of pocket an additional $50,000, $60,000 to buy the same house, that could potentially cost us a sale. We can avoid that from happening. So I want to talk about connecting the dots quickly, because at the end of the day, my mission is to become a part of your international dream team. And if you don't have an international dream team, I want to help you build it. So we've got a wealth of contacts throughout the globe in various professions. If you don't have an international tax specialist in your toolkit, if you don't have a foreign national lender in your toolkit, immigration attorney, business broker, someone that deals with insurance, and of course, currency exchange, I want to help you fill that box. So do reach out to us. We'd love to make those connections. That's free. That's just what we do. We want to help make sure that you are successful and a one-stop shop for your international clientele. Our referring partnership program, this is simply a way for you and I to build a relationship so that when you do have a client, you can reach out to me directly. We can talk about the exchange rate so that you can become more knowledgeable with that specific country or that process of getting funds out of a specific country. We also can provide you with landing pages for your website, which I talked about. But at the end of the day, we want to help make sure that your closings with foreign national buyers and sellers go smoothly and of course safely and securely. And as I mentioned earlier, we pay referral fees. The referral fees do go on for life as well. So let's say you introduce a client who is purchasing a property now and they utilize MoneyCorp, fantastic. You would receive referral fees on that. And then let's say in 7 years' time, they decide to sell that property and transfer the funds back home. Because you were the original introducer of that client, those referral fees follow you for life. The other thing worth mentioning is once you introduce a client to MoneyCorp, they're your client. So we do know that a lot of times customers from overseas are not familiar with the likes of our MLS system, right? So they think that if they want to purchase that property, they need to speak to that agent and so on and so forth. So you do run the risk when dealing with a foreign buyer, if they're not familiar with how the real estate process works in your state or country, that they would bounce around from perhaps realtor to realtor. But at the end of the day, if you introduced a client to MoneyCorp, even if the client used someone else or decided to purchase in Florida instead of California, you would still get paid those referral fees. These are just quickly some samples of our landing pages that we have. Again, clients can register for an account right through here, and it is all trackable. It's potentially a lead generating tool. Reason being is if somebody's on your website and they go, "Ooh, I really need a currency exchange company," and they sign up with us, we're immediately going to contact you and say, "Thank you so much for referring your client, Mr. Smith." And if you are unfamiliar with Mr. Smith, we can provide you with that customer's contact information, because from our position, you sent us the lead initially, so we're happy to return the favor. Again, if you're, we can customize the landing page in some instances, right? We can't get too crazy, but if it is just an image change to match the look and feel of your website, that's sometimes possible. But we try to use the library of existing landing pages that we have to just make it easy for everyone. Like I said, we have many partners around the world, and not only did Americans express an interest in buying in Portugal this year, but we had an increased number of Americans that were looking to purchase in Paris and Spain this year as well, and even in the UK. So again, we have partners there that have landing pages that look like this, but if the French market is something that you're going after, again, we can customize a landing page for you. It is worth mentioning, probably obvious thing that I covered off early on, but although we can trade 120 currencies, some of those currencies we can transact both directions. Some currencies we can only do one direction, but in most instances we can do the transactions both ways. All right, our daily rates email. It looks like some of you on this call look familiar to me, and you may or may not be signed up to receive our daily exchange rates. This is just to help your brain start paying attention to the global exchange rates a bit more often. So every morning we send out this daily exchange rate email. It's sent out at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So by the time you log onto your computers in the morning, it's probably going to be sat there waiting for you. It just gives you a quick snapshot at what some of the top trading currencies exchange rates are. And you'll notice that they're fluctuating, right? Oh, wow, I haven't seen the euro hit that level, over the last weeks of opening up this email. That's interesting. Let me contact Kelly and find out what's going on. If there's an opportunity for me to assist clients from there, and so on and so forth. So if you are interested in receiving our daily exchange rates emails, just drop me an email. I already put my contact information in the chat box. I think I might have been the first one all the way up at the top if you can scroll up, but I will flash my contact information just at the end of the presentation. Take a picture, send me an email. I'd love to get you signed up for those. And there they are. There is my contact information there. How to refer. The easiest way to make an introduction is to simply email your client wherever they are in the world and explain to them that you work with a currency exchange company that might be able to assist them with their currency exchange and international transfer needs, and copy me in. That email, again, serves two purposes. It's a soft introduction. I'm not in the business of cold calling. I can't even tell you the last time I contacted a client that wasn't anticipating my call, but copy us in on an email so it makes that easy introduction. And it also allows me to track that it was a referral from yourself. So it's great when people are out speaking about the gospel of MoneyCorp, but it's always important to us that we know who is out there spreading the great news about MoneyCorp. So that is the end of my PowerPoint presentation, but from now I'd love the opportunity to answer any questions or talk through anyone's specific clients that they're working with right now that they might have questions on and how I might be able to assist.
Yes, Kelly, we do have several questions here. The first one is raised by author Shu. Author was asking, how about having more offices in Asian countries?
So we do have an office in Hong Kong now, which is exciting. We'll likely continue to grow there. Actually, that was our biggest growing office over last year. They deal with even a different division of MoneyCorp, which is our wholesale banknotes division. And what that means is there's sometimes banks or smaller currency exchange companies like MoneyCorp that need physical cash to help clients exchange. And so we actually provide them with that foreign currency that they have on hand. But our CEO, Mark Horgan, who is based out of our London office, is very passionate about the Asian market. And so I don't think we're far off from having more local offices there. But again, we can assist clients even if we don't have a local office in their jurisdiction.
Thank you. Good to know. We have a discussion between Frankie Ho and Juliana too, and we sure want your comment as well. Frankie was asking, can buyer use foreign currency to close escrow in USA?
No. So if you had a buyer from the likes of Canada as an example, and they were purchasing a property in California, the client would need to convert their Canadian currency into US dollars to deposit those US dollars with the escrow account, the title company, etc., so that they could successfully facilitate a property purchase. I am unaware of someone buying a property in the United States and being able to keep their foreign currency in their home currency.
I see. So you have to convert it to the US dollar first to close escrow.
Correct. Now, I was on a presentation earlier today, and it's funny, I think someone on your call was on that presentation. Hi, Ed, if you're still there. Foreign national financing. Foreign national financing has come back. It went away for, a minute over COVID, but there is foreign national financing options available for foreign buyers often. So it's important for your buyer as well. Even if they are able to purchase with cash, they might find it more advantageous to do a mortgage if the exchange rate is not favorable for them right now, but that we think that there is going to be a trend that the rate of exchange can improve for them. So you might find that somebody only puts down a 30% deposit now, so that they can purchase the property. And then as long as they have a mortgage without a prepayment penalty, when the rate of exchange improves for them, you'll see those clients then pay off those mortgages. So we want to make sure that we discuss all those options, have a foreign national lender in your toolbox so that your client can make the best decision, what's is going to be most fruitful and advantageous for them.
Thank you, Kelly. Here's another question. So Juliana too was asking, what is the banking regulatory law that says the foreigner needs to be in the US to access their funds in the US banks? Is it the Bank Secretary Act?
There's many regulations around it now, but there's also just bank policies or bank rules to help eliminate anti-money laundering and fraudulent international payment activity. So part of it is the Bank Secrecy Act, part of it is the United States Patriot Act. But at the end of the day, if you today contact Bank of America and say, or whoever you bank with, just to test the theory and say, I need to transfer $5,000 to my friend in Italy, they will say you need to come down to the branch and be physically present to make that payment happen.
I see. Max Mao was asking, are you FDIC insured?
We are, and we actually bank with banks. So at no point are your clients' funds in MoneyCorp's bank, right? So if we were dealing with an American client that was purchasing overseas, as an example, the American client would deposit their US dollar funds into our Bank of America account. So they not only get the insurance through the bank themselves, but there's an additional layer of safety and security that MoneyCorp is regulated as a financial services corporation and regulated under a million different things. So yes, they get the FDIC insurance kind of twofold. And then when MoneyCorp sends the payment out, of course, we are also going to send the funds into a financial institution, whether it's the Royal Bank of Canada or the Bank of Portugal, et cetera, et cetera. So at no point are the funds held in MoneyCorp's assets.
Good to know. Another question from Max. I think this is the very popular question that among us. So here, how can mainland Chinese customers access to the service given give RMB is not freely convertible currency?
Yeah, so I knew this question was going to come up, and I love to be the person that has that can-do spirit, especially with the lovely group that we had here this morning that started my day out so bright. But we can't assist with the mainland China currency. As I mentioned, we can do 120 different currency pairs, but there's more out there than that, and that's a currency that we cannot convert. However, what we often find is just because a realtor says they're working with a buyer from China, it is not safe to assume that they have the local Chinese currency. You may find that they already have their funds converted into Canadian dollars, and then of course we can help. And you might find that they've already taken the responsibility of converting their currency into Hong Kong dollars. We can help with Hong Kong dollars. So it's kind of a three-part step. A, B, C. If the client has local Chinese currency, they should consider converting the funds into Hong Kong dollars. Once the funds are in Hong Kong dollars, that's when I receive the phone call and I assist with the transfer from step B to C. Unfortunately, I cannot advise on the process for them to do from step A to B, but a lot of clients are doing it, so I think could potentially be a well-known process, or maybe someone else on the call even has more experience with that. But yes, we can't trade the local Chinese currency.
But you can trade from Hong Kong to anywhere else in the world, right?
Absolutely.
Good to know.
So it's always important for a realtor to not always just assume that your client has a specific currency. Always ask the question, great, I'm happy to assist you with your property purchase. Can I ask what currency you currently hold so that I can keep track of that specific exchange rate and help guide you through this purchase process? Because it's all great if you're monitoring the exchange rate between the Hong Kong dollar and the US dollar, but then at the end of the day, you realize, oh, this guy sold a property in France last year, so actually he'll be using euros to buy a property here. You never know. Always just ask to ensure you're monitoring the right thing for them.
Good point. Yes. Another question from Cecilia Ruda, asking, do rates change more than daily?
Yes, exchange rates fluctuate constantly. I'll give you an example. I worked with a customer this week who in the morning converted 2 million pounds into US dollars and got one rate of exchange. The market moved in such a way at the end of the day that he converted an additional 2 million pounds into US dollars, and he received 10,000 more US dollars on the second transaction than he did the first. So yes, markets move constantly. Not all currencies fluctuate that rapidly. The euro can move, 0.3, 0.7, maybe 1% in a day, right? But then you look at a currency like the Brazilian real, and it's fluctuating like 5 cents in the day. So again, it's important that that person doesn't always only consider the month or the week they're transacting or the day of the week, but actually the minute they're going to book that transaction. And that's why our team of specialists is there to help somebody monitor that fluctuation to get the best exchange rate within the time frame that they're working with, and to make sure that the funds are where they need to go in time for closing.
I see. Another Cecilia is asking, since you are a private company, how the security or guarantee to the seller in case something happened? Do you have any insurance during the transaction?
So I guess I'm not understanding the question. If you're working with a seller, the funds do not come into, MoneyCorp does not get involved until post-closing. So if something goes wrong with the closing prior to closing, MoneyCorp's involvement is just delayed. Once we receive the funds in from a client, at that point, if you're speaking about if something went crazy or MoneyCorp went bust, it's important to know that at no point are any funds that we receive from a client MoneyCorp's assets. They're held in what is termed as client safe accounts. It's similar to an escrow account. If we went down, we cannot take those funds down with us. The client is the only person that can dictate what happens with those funds. Our contracts are booked verbally, so we would verbally confirm an exchange rate with the client, convert the currency, and then again, dispatch the foreign currency into the bank account of their choice. So there's no risk of a client utilizing MoneyCorp. In actuality, there is more risk for the client to rely upon their bank, because the bank is only insured up to a certain amount. So if the bank were to go bust, then that client could run the risk of not getting their full return. Whereas with MoneyCorp, they've got that first insurance policy with the bank, as I mentioned, but the additional benefit of the fact that the funds are in a client safe account and no one's assets but the client's.
See, good point. Phone was asking, dear, does anyone speak Chinese in your office?
Oh, that's a good question. We do have over 800 employees throughout the company. Someone may speak Chinese. I'm not entirely sure. But by all means, they can translate our website and they can utilize our online platform. So at the end of the day, we want to offer the white glove service to your clients where they get to use their expert currency dealer and we can guide them through these decisions. But at the end of the day, we do work with a lot of clients that say, I don't need to speak to somebody. I just want to log into my account and make transfers on my own. Clients have the ability to do that. So if there was a language barrier, the client could still use the online platform and translate it as they so wish to do. Because we can't trade the Chinese currency, it's not, an avid language that we offer our services in. However, as I'm saying that, I can tell you that there is a gentleman that just joined our company, James Lee, who is based in our Toronto office, who does speak Chinese. So let me forget everything I just said and answer yes.
Great. So that one is solved. They do have Chinese speaking agents who can help you out. Ernest Alonso was asking, does MoneyCorp assist exchange for nonprofit organizations like monthly, annually foreign donations to churches in USA?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, we have a private client service offering as well as a corporate division. So once we speak to the client and figure out how their nonprofit or fundraising organization is organized, we would just make sure they're speaking to the right representatives. We work with many nonprofit organizations. We work with many church groups and missionary groups to help them fund or receive donations from overseas.
I see. We have so many questions here. So as our time is limited, I'm just gonna select a few more for Kelly. So from Joanna Lane was asking, how can a foreign client open an account overseas? That's the first question. And second is, what documents are required? And third is, does the escrow accept the money directly wired from your company?
Yes, and easy to answer. Thank you for asking those questions. Your overseas clients, once you send us an introductory email, I simply reply to them with a link that they can click on and they can register for our services in less than 5 minutes. It's really easy for your clients to sign up for an account with MoneyCorp. As far as documentation is not always necessary. Reason being is MoneyCorp utilizes systems such as LexisNexis, Experian, so on and so forth. We're not checking someone's credit, right? We could care less about their credit score. We don't even get a credit report off of clients, but we utilize those reports for address and identity verification. If somebody passes, for lack of a better word, passes our KYC checks that are happening behind the scenes, their account is straight automatically opened with no documentation necessary. If for some reason we are unable to verify their information or they quote unquote fail that electronic verification check, then additional documentation would be requested. That's nothing alarming. Somebody can receive a fail score because they recently moved and we were unable to verify through our international databases that in fact they live where they say they're living. In addition, somebody may have recently gotten married, done a name change. Maybe in some report their name was spelt with 2 L's and it's supposed to only be 1. For many, many reasons, somebody may fail. In those instances, again, not tricky documentation. We would just ask for a proof of ID, passport or driver's license, and a proof of address, which could be a utility bill or a bank statement, something showing their name and their home address. Let me just add quickly to that. The only other additional documentation that we would require is if we are working with a customer who is converting currency within a high risk jurisdiction, right? Somebody's trying to get funds out of Egypt, it's on that list, right? So we're going to go to the client and say, for regulatory compliance, in addition to the driver's license and the utility bill, we also need to understand the reason for your trade. We've got to prove that. That might come in the form of a property contract or a sales agreement, etc. So that's it as far as documentation, not a load of documents that we're talking about here. And in relation to if the title company can receive or the escrow company receive the funds directly, absolutely. And we would highly recommend that your buyers instruct MoneyCorp to send the funds directly to the escrow account. Why? Because if you get the bank involved, their local US bank involved, if they even have a US bank account, the bank is going to charge perhaps an international receiving fee or a wire receiving fee. We can avoid that. Why not we avoid it? And going back to this US Patriot Act stuff and the funds getting stuck there, more and more banks are restricting even domestic payments to a third-party account without the customer being physically present due to wire fraud and everything else and money laundering. So you might run the risk where this client's trying to be really proactive and ahead of the game, and I'm going to put my money in America, but I'm going to stay in Canada. Well, at the end of the day, when it comes time for closing and they go to move the money from the bank to the title company, they might have some last minute struggles. So again, shortest distance between two places is a straight line. If we can make that happen, that would be better for everybody.
I see. Here is our last question. So how long does it take the money to be transferred from start of asking to sending the dollar, the money?
Yeah, the typical rule of thumb is about 2 business days. In some situations, we can do it shorter. In some situations, it could take a day or 2 longer. The reason there would be delays are not because of how long it takes MoneyCorp to deliver the foreign currency to where it needs to go. The delays would come on how long it takes for the customer to deposit their currency into their MoneyCorp account, right? So if they're dealing with Indian rupees and the bank can't do a transfer in less than 5 days, we can't speed that up. But once we receive the currency, then we can quickly send it out. Rule of thumb is 2 business days. But just bear in mind, it's great for us to get involved as early on in the transaction as possible so that if there are any delays with their banks or anything else, we can have some control.
Great. Thank you, Kelly.
Absolutely, my
That's
pleasure.
the end of the question. So on behalf of the West and Gabriel Realtors, we would like to thank you for your informative and helpful presentation. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you so much.
Now, it comes to our attendance join. Just a reminder that you have to be WSGVR members and you must present to Wayne, and we're gonna draw 3 winners today, and each of them will get a $10 Amazon e-gift card. And if you win, please enter your email and DRE number in the chat box so we can make sure that we're gonna send you the e-gift card over. Let's start. Nikki Chen, our first winner, Nikki Chen. Nikki, are you here?
Sharon, no.
Nikki.
Let's move on. Not here.
Okay, Nikki's not here. So let's continue.
What's the name?
Weiku.
Weiku, our first winner. Weiku, are you here? Weiku calling once.
Weiku is here. Weiku, can you say something or text?
Can you
It shows
text your
that
DRE number and your email address in the chat box?
it shows that he's here.
Weiku calling twice. Weiku, are you here?
I think Weiku has us on radio mode. Okay, let's move on.
Next.
Jim Vega. Jim, are you here? Yeah, there you go. Please text
Jim is
your
here.
number and email address in the chat box, please.
Did he say he's here?
Yes, Jim said.
Yes, he
Oh,
typed in
yes.
the chat box.
So 2 more. Say the name.
Daniel Chen. Daniel.
Daniel Chen.
Daniel, are you here?
I think he's not here.
Oh,
You see
Nico
him?
says he's here, but he
Oh, he
missed.
is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see him. Daniel is not here.
Wiku just typed on the chat box, says he's here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wiku is here. Okay. So if Wiku is here, then one more, the last one.
Riku, can you text your DRE number and your email address in the chat box, please? And our last one, Catherine Wong. Catherine Wong.
Catherine with a C or a K?
C.
Catherine Wong is here. Catherine? Let's see if we can unmute her. Catherine, are you on? Catherine once. Catherine 2 times. Somebody text something. Hold up.
It's Riku email address.
Catherine 3 times. Okay, Catherine must have us on radio mode. Okay, let's go. Last one.
Mark Wu. Oh wow, Mark.
He left.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Is he here?
Mark, are you here?
I think he left. Not here. Let's go. Move on.
Okay.
Last
let's
one.
move on.
So hard to give away $10, huh? What is the name?
Calvin
Calvin
Gong.
Gong. Calvin.
Who?
Calvin Gong, my broker.
Did he have
Calvin,
us?
are you here?
He left. He left.
Oh, he left already.
Yeah, he's gone. He probably never signed up. Not here.
All right, let's move on.
Last one. So hard to give away. There's still 64 of you.
Maggie Kihania. Maggie, are you here?
No. Move on.
Maggie left as well. Okay.
Last one. So hard to give away.
We got our last one, Carol Tam. Carol.
No,
Do
not
you
here.
have Carol?
No. Carol with the C, right? No, she's not here. Gosh, it's so hard to give away the last $10.
It happens sometimes.
It's like an odd attendance drawing.
Gabriel Lee. Gabriel, are you here?
Gabrielle.
No, not here. I'm glad that he didn't hear we butcher his name. Last $10. Who?
Lisa Chin.
I'm sorry?
Lisa Chin. Is Lisa here?
Lisa Chi is here. CHI. Which one is this one? Yeah, Lisa is here. Lisa Chi.
Lisa Chi.
Where? She's here.
Lisa,
Did
can
she
you
put?
text your DRE number?
Did she text it?
No.
You know, a lot of people put us on radio mode. Just listen and disappeared.
I saw Lisa's name. Can
I
we
did
unmute
too.
her?
Let me try. Lisa, we try to unmute you. Lisa.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, good. Thank you for being here.
I am here.
Please put your email, please, on the WeChat.
Okay.
On the chat, not WeChat. I'm sorry. Okay. Congratulations. Finally, we're giving away 3. Finally. Yes. Okay. Finally.
Now, at this time, after the join, I would like to welcome Nanette on our membership from Special Events Chair. She will be talking to us about our Lunar New Year celebration. Lynette? Pauline, can we unmute Nanette?
Yes. Give me a minute.
Somehow I cannot send the chat.
Hi, everyone. Excuse me. Happy Lunar New Year, everyone. My name is Nanette. I am chair for WSGVR. And I just wanted to send out a reminder that next week is our WSGVR Lunar New Year event. It's next week, February 18th at 9 a.m. Hope to see you all there. I also wanted to note we're going to do things a little differently with our audience participation for some of our activities where you may win some prizes and what I'd like to call as red envelope prizes. So that will entail a video camera and muting yourself. So if you don't want to chat in the chat box, then you can show your beautiful face and let us hear your beautiful voice. See you all next week and enjoy New Year's Eve today.
Thank you, Nanette. Please remember to join us next week as we will have more fun for sure. At the same time, next Thursday at 9 a.m., please. And next, please remember to join our education classes. As always, we will have 2 classes on Monday and 1 class for the forms on Tuesday. Please remember to join. And next. And please make sure to participate in the classes and also to and also a reminder that our WSGVR office will be closed on Monday because it's on Monday, February 15, because it's President's Day. And please remember to support our affiliates with your transactions. And now this meeting is adjourned. Happy Chinese Lunar New Year, everybody. Have a wonderful day.